Welcome back. It's your lucky day. Today is a mobility day, so it's a short and condensed practice that's focusing on releasing and relaxing the muscles. Let's start with a seated twist. Both feet come forward. And you'll take your left ankle and cross it over right thigh. Right elbow comes to the inside of left quad, and then your left hand can come behind you as you turn and rotate your heart, not using a ton of tension. So we don't want to torque the spine, but just lots of muscle and looking over back shoulder, seeing where that lands. Use your inhales to grow taller and exhales to maybe find a little bit more depth. And then where we're going from here is going to be a series of adventures. We'll start with planting the left foot and heel closest to your glute and squeezing in. So this is a nice hug in. You might have a lot of sensation here. If you do, you can stay here, or you can bring your shin into your arm like a baby. Maybe you have a wrap around where your foot and knee are resting in the elbows. And you want to be rolling around all over the glute, looking for the juicy, tight areas. And then once you find one, you could hold and breathe there. It'll feel like you can't breathe. I'm on one right now. It'll feel like your breath is being taken from you, but stay with the sensation and keep breathing nice and freely. Then we'll release the foot, take a bend through your right knee and bring your heel close to your left glute. Draw your left knee over top of right. So left heel is maybe resting next to right hip. If that feels okay for you. If it doesn't, you'll go back to this. Just crossing the foot over thigh and holding. But if you can, get into stack knees. Maybe you want to draw your shins forward. That's also an option. It puts a lot more stress on the hip joints. And stress is good for our bones. It's good for our skeleton. We need to have stress to keep strong for our muscle and bone tone. This is great. Maybe you're barely breathing here and this is where you want to stop, or you can walk your hands forward. If you have the cow face bind, where you take a bind at the hands, at the shoulder blades, I don't have that. I'd have to use a strap, so I'm just going to worry about walking my hands forward for now. And we're breathing here for probably a good 10, 15 breaths. Might be distracted by your pedicure or the floor, your space. If you are, close your eyes and go right back into the body sensation. Last 5 breaths if you can. Bind the hands at the low spine. Draw the knuckles down towards your mat and then lean your heart forward. Release the mind. Release your knees. Take wide feet. And then leaning back, you'll drop your right knee into center all the way down. So trying to touch the interior of your right knee down on your mat and hold. In breath through center, both knees lift. And exhale, left knee comes down, trying to touch the mat. If it can't, that's okay too. One of your hips will be more closed than the other. And back through center. Left leg straightens out. Right foot crosses over left thigh. And left arm takes a hook of right thigh. You're in your twist again. And you always, always, always have the option to close your eyes if your external environment is distracting you and taking you from here. If your mind is anywhere and active outside of your breath and your body, you are somewhere in the future or somewhere in the past, and that's a guarantee. And see if you can be here. Back through center. And you can either stay here, I didn't cue that on the other side, but it's always an option, or hug your knee in as close as you can. Maybe you rock around on your glute like this, or taking your rock the baby. Oh gosh. This side is, I'm not gonna make that full bind just yet. Woo-wee. Lots of activity happening here. And the foot wants to be flexed just to protect your knee. So if you find yourself distracted by the pain and your foot is softening, you want to back out of the pain and strengthen your foot. Oh yeah, there's another grab of this too, I remember. Under the calf and around if you don't have the full rock the baby. Whew. I could definitely spend more time here than the other side, that's for sure. Wow. And last few breaths. And bend your bottom knee, hug your heel in. Lay your right knee over left. Find your half cow face pose, Gomukhasana. Ironically, I thought, oh, this hip's gonna feel really closed because of what was going on with my glute tightness, but I actually feel really good here. So I could walk my hands all the way forward and stay here like that. It feels a bit intense. I could do it, depending on the intensity that I want to go to and the challenge that I'm able to face today, because we're not able to face these strong challenges every single day, every second of every single day. And I've just actually come to that conclusion is if I know I'm in an active wound, most of us have some sort of rejection wound or I'm not worthy wound. Why do we keep touching the hot stove? Why do we keep going to it when it's wide open and bleeding? And going back to the practice of ahimsa, loving kindness, compassion, non-harming. About 4 more breaths here before we go into the bind. So if you can get any more space where you are, or you need to back out like I did. When you're ready, binding opposite grip. So opposite index finger in front, heart lifts, and belly and heart come forward. And you don't just want to take the bind and still let your shoulders fall in towards the heart. You want to draw the shoulder blades to the spine and peel open the clavicle bones. I'm releasing, both legs come forward. And you can either take this from this fold from a flat back or a rounded spine. I'm going to take it from a flat back. It's what I need most. My back's pretty mobile, so the back of my legs it is. And that is it. That's all for today. If you'd like to take Shavasana, you're more than welcome to. Actually encourage it, even if it just looks like a seated meditation for 5 minutes. We don't do it enough. And if you want to be present, it's important. You have to train yourself, because otherwise we are goldfish. 100%. Shiny thing, shiny thing. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Namaste.